One election in Southeast, another in South-South, and the other one in the North-Central. That's how diverse those elections will be on the 11th of November. Let me take you to Bayelsa State in the southern region of the country. I'm being joined by the Labour Party governorship candidate, Eradiri Undemofa, who otherwise called Udengs. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. You say you're an obedient.
Yes, I am.
How much of a structure does your party have in Bayelsa State?
Well, generally, our party has structures in every unit and every ward in the state. And of course, that was expressed in the last elections where Bayelsa came second as at what was written. Ordinarily, Bayelsa won that election, if not for a few.
Labour Party won in Bayelsa.
Yes,
that's what you meant to say?
Yes, in the presidential election.
What gives you the impression? Because that's not what INEC...
That's what I'm saying now. That aside from what was announced on the ground, the Labour Party won the election. But in any case, we came second. For us to come up second, it shows that we had the structures. But when people talk about structures, what are the structures? Are these structures of poverty, structures of corruption? I think that the people are the structures. The people, young people who are graduating from universities in their numbers without jobs are the structures. Those who send their children to schools without teachers are the structures that will work with us in this election. Those who cannot do business in Yenegua are the structures. So for me, when people talk about structures, I think that it is over the years, people have been battered to the corner where they think that if you don't have units or, I don't know how to explain structure, but I think that the people of Bayelsa have suffered enough to the point where they will be looking at candidates and their credentials, those who can actually change the tide in the state. And I come with that capacity, competence, and credentials to be able to solve the problems in Bayelsa.
Bayelsa State is seen and known as a traditional PDP state and a stronghold of Bayelsa State. Someone like you, born in Port Harcourt, had part of your schooling in Yenagua, schooled in Calabar, and all what have you. You understand so much. And there are those who say that you, in fact, you are a product of PDP, that you have blood of PDP flowing in you, that you're more or less a PDP member.
I'm not just only, I served in the PDP government.
As a commissioner twice?
Yes, as a commissioner twice. I served in the APC government as a special assistant to the MD of NDDC in the last administration. I just feel that as a young man, Frank Fanon said, every generation out of relative obscurity must rediscover his mission, whether to betray or fulfill it. At my generation must be seen contributing to the upliftment of my people. And when you find out that these same structures we talk about will not allow young people or people who aspire, people who have capacity to express themselves using a party platform. Of course, parties are platforms that we will use to express ourselves. And for me, I think that I have the capacity to deal with the challenges in Bayelsa. And so I will not allow a party to hold me down, knowing fully well that somebody will use his turn as a younger person, and then when he's over 65, want to still be there when you know that they are not producing any results. For me, I'm not wired that way. I went to University of Benin where we were taught to always keep our head high. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here.
Interesting. Why do you think that you are better than Eradiri Silva, Eradiri, a former senator? These are, I mean, a sitting governor, and Eradiri Silva, who has been a minister, who is being a governor. What do you bring to the table that is better than this? Do you think that you are better than some of these persons that I've mentioned?
Yes, I am far better than them. The reason is that some of them, especially Eradiri Silva, was far younger than myself when he was governor. He had the energy at that time. I also possess those energies. I've been schooled, properly schooled. I've also worked with him, worked with also Governor Dixon. I've had the experience and the opportunity of working around these leaders. So I understand. This current governor, when I was IYC president when he was in ESCO, we know ourselves. We know the value and capacity we bring in to what we do. In the last, in 2011, when I contested for House of Reps, this governor was part of the leaders of the Labour Party. So we saw our capacities at that level. I believe very strongly that with the positions I held and the way I affected society, if given the opportunity as a governor, I would do far better. I was IYC president. I was part and parcel of the peace process in the Niger Delta. First as Secretary General, again as president, as Commissioner of Youth, later Commissioner for Environment. Those times that I served in government, the records are there for the people to see. Compared to these young people, these men, when they were my age, some of them did not add the value I've added. I run an engineering company and a member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. I employ labor, I create jobs, I pay tax in the state, the same tax that they are using to marry wives, build houses and hotels, instead of dealing with the issues in the state, comes from my pocket as well, as a young man who is adding value to the society, the economy, and our state.
So you see yourself you see yourself as a man of means?
Yes. No, a man of means, yes. A man of means.
Take me to the fact that how do you hope to fund your campaign?
Well, you see, people talk about is Sudan's ready for this election. We are just about 23 days to the elections. Everything that they do, I do.
Like what?
I have a secretariat. I'm campaigning. The entire structures. It's just that if they come with 20 cars, I come with 2. But I come with a stronger message communicating with the people. My agenda you have seen. My agenda is every community you go to, you see this. This is a summary of what you have.
You say you have a better alternative.
Yes, we are a better alternative.
So what are you bringing that is different? Because those who are criticizing and say, thanks, the only thing that is campaigning on is being an obedient. You are saying that you're going to bring Peter Obi to campaign for you, and the youth are going to be your platform to winning this election. What are the figures? What are the numbers?
Let me clear.
Apart from that,
let me clear this. I'm not campaigning with under Obi. No. I'm campaigning based on the issues that bedevil our people in Bayelsa. Only a Bayelsan who understands the issues can deal with it. Yes, I'm an obedient. Why? Because I believe in capacity, integrity, and competence. These are the core values of the obedient. But I'm not contesting because of Obi. No, I'm not. I'm contesting because of the issues
do you think that factor
in my state.
That factor can help you?
Of course, it will help me because he is a man that people respect and people love, which he has come to Bayelsa to express. But if I don't do my homework, I'll fail the elections. If over the years I have been given an opportunity to lead the people, if I didn't lead according to capacity, competence, and character, I won't be here today.
Tell us about Bayelsa State and what you think you can do better. Some of the statistics about your state are not anything to write home about. The statistics that need urgent change in the lives and the livelihood of the people of your state, in terms of education, in terms of poverty rate. In fact, yesterday, just here, your state ranked at the bottom on the pyramid of the performance of state. In fact, your state ranked the second next to Zamfara in terms of reliance on federal revenue. So how do you hope to handle this should you be elected governor of Bayelsa?
Well, first of all, I feel very sad about always sitting down to hear about the sorry state of my state. We are not even up to 500,000 people. And yet, we are the second poorest state in the country because of leadership. We compare ourselves to states like Ebonyi, Jigawa. We see what they are doing. The meager resources that get into those states are properly and judiciously utilized for the betterment of their people. Come to Bayelsa and see what is going on. Of course, you have read the statistics. I have come up with a simple agenda, the PIP agenda. People, education, agriculture, and power. With these four things, I'm going to change the economic face of the state. One value that I bring to this ticket is that I have capacity. I'm a man who anything I put my hand in, I change it. And that's why all the positions that I've held, I bring that capacity and competence
to us how you are going to do
Therefore,
that. Because
what I'm going to do...
people are tired of rhetoric. They are tired of preaching about, capacity. Or how are you going to get it done?
First of all,
in terms of numbers, in terms of timelines, in 6 months, how would you get more jobs? In 1 year, how much of agriculture can you bring?
Let me tell you. As IYC president, I created more jobs than a government in 4 years. When people were flooding the state with bread, water, even as minimal as bread and water was coming from outside the state. But I stopped it to allow for local participation. And today, Water alone, I created over 5,000 jobs. Bread, people left banks to set up bakeries in the state. I have done it before. Today, I'm starting with the people. I'm engaging the people. Because if you want to succeed as a government, you need the people to support you. You need the people to participate in the leadership. And so I am already talking to the people and preparing
then, for
them.
example, let me give you what the data is saying.
Yeah.
The MBS, let's put the peg unemployment rate in Bayelsa State to be well over 35%, which is above the national average.
I saw it yesterday.
There is a data which says 89% of the population of Bayelsa State is considered to be multidimensionally poor, the second highest rate among the 36 states of the Federation, including the FCT. First and foremost, your people, based on what data is telling us, are very, very poor. How much of jobs can you create, and from where? How do you alleviate poverty? How do you take them out of poverty? Practical steps.
Yeah, I'm going to be dealing with agriculture. Bayelsa has a 60,000 ton cassava processing facility dead in Bayelsa. If you look at what I have sent to you, I have itemized 11 companies owned by the state that could create jobs that are dead. We have a cargo airport. I'm going to build a food processing and storage facility. Look, I'm going to plug the excesses, all the leakages in the government revenue sector. When I was commissioner for environment, I closed the forest. I plugged all the areas they used to steal money from. And I was generating between 35 to 40 million every month to government posts from wood alone. And so there are a lot of areas that I'm going to clog and then generate the resources that I pump into areas like agriculture. I talked about building a food processing and storage facility.
How much of jobs can those create?
Thousands of jobs.
In practical.
Why? Because
do you have your numbers? Because if you want to lead Bayelsa State, you should have your figures. You should have your numbers. What are those figures telling you?
Let me tell you that I'm going to create. I don't like this. You know, you box a man to a corner and he says, I'm going to create 100,000 jobs. And then at the end of the day, it cannot meet that.
Because if you say that because you want to create a cassava processing, you should be able to, just for a moment, you should be able to understand the capacity of such an outfit.
Yes.
How much of jobs such an outfit, then you'll be able to tell us that if I'm creating so and so, it will create so and so number of jobs. That is a question. That is what people of Bayelsa State want to hear tonight.
Now, can you listen to me? 60,000 ton cassava processing facility will create several jobs. I can't put a figure to it.
You've not done the homework.
Because you are going to be supplying beverage companies, you are going to be supplying pharmaceutical companies, you are going to be supplying the livestock by processing cassava. So I talked about building a food processing and storage facility in the airport. Bayelsa's plant plantain. Excess plantain can be export material. Fish, crayfish can be export material. You can imagine the quantum of jobs that will create in that sector. Logistics alone will create a lot of jobs in the state. So truly, I've not put a figure to it, but with that activity, we're going to
quickly. Thanks. I have two questions and we need to close now. And one of them is, I've traveled through the waters of Bayelsa State. And you know that there is a single road that leads you from out of Port Harcourt straight into the waters of that Yenagua. And there are a lot of people who say life is beyond Yenagua. There is a Keremo community, the Brass community, and all of those communities largely surrounded by water. That is wealth. When people see water in some other climes, they see wealth. What are you seeing? And how much of wealth do you see for Bayelsa State in those potentials that the water brings?
Well, first of all, we're going to be building the Brass Atlantic City. We're going to be building the new Yenagua town. These towns are to support our people in those areas. A road is going to Brass. The other road that is supposed to go to Agi have stopped in Ekirimo. We're going to take the road to Agi. The idea is to open up the blue economy to the hinterlands. And so by the time we invest in those roads and then those facilities, we'll be able to, tap into the wealth of the ocean. Bayelsa has gas. In Nembe, for instance, in Nembe Creek, vessels can go into Nembe Creek. Our plan is to veer off the road to Brass, about 5 kilometers to Nembe Creek, pipe the gas, open up the area. develop it, and then advertise it as an industrial area. That way we can bring in industries to the place.
I mean, talking about the restiveness, you being leadership, in the leadership of IYC, if you get into that conversation, we might not live here. But there's something that I'm more passionate, and I think that any Nigerian should be passionate about. We celebrated women, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, but this is quite disturbing. Udengs.
Yeah.
Statistics is telling us that female children who are out of school in Bayelsa State gives us the second highest figure in the whole of the 6 states of the Niger Delta. That is not a statistics that anybody should be happy about. When our young girls and females in that state are out of school in that number, that calls for a lot of worry.
Yes,
what can you do to change this?
What I intend to do is to invest in education. First of all, is to declare free education in the state and then upgrade the educational facilities in our state. There are no teachers in primary schools in Bayelsa. We want to employ teachers, train them, equip them, ensure that their welfare is one that is enviable. And then we introduce information technology education. If we do that and we ensure that our task force is not allowing young children to remain at home, we would have sent those young ones to schools.
Udengs Eradiri is the Labour Party governorship candidate in Bayelsa State, and he's been talking about his manifesto and his ambition in wanting to become Bayelsa State governor. Bayelsa State governor, hoping that he will be able to unseat the PDP candidate. That might be an uphill task. But you say
it's not. No, it's not a difficult task. The people already know that they have failed in providing the service. You read the statistics here. You can see that every indices that we are supposed to be doing good, we're down the ladder.
Thank you so much, Mr. Eradiri. Thank you so much. Well,